No, I can do what the hell I want to do. Grown ass woman.
Say that
Everyone, welcome back to my channel. Let's talk about the latest episode of the Real Housewives of Atlanta right now. So we're back with Marlo doing the most against Kenya Moore. Kenya Moore is upset because she's been banging at her door. Instead of even realizing that she's doing wrong, Marlo keeps talking.
I know it's your friend, but it's not fair to you. I'm going to go eat some steak, and y'all can sit here and knock and click clack and talk around.
Is it just the lack of education of in French we say savoir vivre, like you don't know how to live, you don't know how to be polite, even against people you don't like, and she keeps on talking, saying stuff that doesn't make sense, and at some point she's even trying to tell Monyetta that she is being disrespectful toward her. And Monyetta was like, speak for yourself, don't speak for me. So now that became a back and forth between Monyetta and Marlo. And Marlo did not want to stop. And Monyetta was like, you're not going to do that to me. I like the fact that Monyetta is being more vocal this season. She is definitely defending herself and making it clear that the way Marlo acted was not the right way. And a part of me is like, well, it would have been great if you could have told her right in at that moment when she did what she did, because you were just looking at her. And then Marlo talked about Kenya is older than her, so really, she ain't got nothing to say. Girl, y'all are not 13 and 10. Y'all are not 6 and 25. You're old as fuck. You're over 45 years old, talking about Kenya is older than you, so she's the one that should be more mature. No, girl, you're old. You're old as hell, Marlo. She's so childish, y'all. When she was having the back and forth with Monyetta, she did this here.
Say that
Why does it have to go to that level? Why are you willing to go to the violence? Marlo, I'm telling y'all something about Marlo. If you let her lose, the stuff she would do, she can go very violent. I have that feeling about her. I don't know if it's because I saw the multiple mugshot that she has, but Marlo, she can do some very dangerous damage. And that was so unnecessary. And something I saw that the producer did was they added some funny music when Monyetta said that, she shouldn't have closed the door on her.
Nobody did anything to her ever. Did she just slam the damn door in my face?
That was not a funny moment. You know what I mean? Because if she closed that door, the way the strength that she puts in it, because Marlo seems to be very strong, if that touched Monyetta and hurt her head, that would not have been a funny moment. And I saw what the producer were trying to do here, and I didn't like that. They added that funny music in there, kind of to make it look like this was supposed to be a funny moment. That was not funny. Nothing was funny there. They continue going back and forth, and Monyetta is upset because Marlo pushed it to another level. So Marlo go outside, but she is still talking, and Monyetta and Sheree and Sanya, they're still talking, and then they call Kenya because they are in agreement that they all just wanted to know what was going on. That's Kenya's trip, and usually when they go on a trip with somebody, there is an itinerary, and they all, have to know what's going on, what are going to be the activity and stuff like that. Kenya, of course, had a couple of surprise for them, but since the restaurant, they left suddenly, they just really wanted to understand what was going on. So Monyetta called Kenya, and they talk. Kenya is like,
I just actually would feel better if those people who are not my core group of friends would just go home.
With Marlo, energy sucks. She is not nice. She pushes it. And she's childish. Sanya is like, what do you mean you want us to go? And she's like, yeah, you can go, because Sanya was only coming for that one day. She was supposed to come back. Kenya is like, you don't need to come back. So Sanya is like, oh, okay, well, let me go then. And yeah, Sanya obviously is disappointed because she feels like last year, Kenya was really big on her, Kenya is very strict. I feel like she's very demanding when it comes to other people, but she don't necessarily give that same energy that she would want to receive from people. I admit that. I agree with that. And Sanya was like, I'm going to leave. The ladies continue talking. Then Marlo comes in again because Courtney was able to calm her down. And I want to say that, wow, Courtney is literally a housewife at this point. Like, she's more than a friend of. Like, the girl is working harder than even Drew. They go back in there, and Marlo was ready to go back and forth again against Monyetta. And I was like, girl, like, you still don't get it? Like, you still don't understand you went too far, especially with the door and everything. So then we see Sanya about to go, and Monyetta and Kenya are still on the phone. So when Sanya is like, honestly, I don't appreciate and everything what Kenya did.
I love friendship that we have. I got in my...
Hold on. Who's speaking?
This is Sanya.
So now you don't know my voice?
No, Sanya was like, let me go. So she left. So the next morning, we see the ladies doing what they're doing, but apparently the producer put this here. So Kenya apparently has not been feeling well. She had to call the ambulance. We see when they come and pick her up, she is really not doing well. And at first I was like, maybe Kenya is just tired of everything and she's like, I'm done. But a part of me is like, that was a big opportunity for her to perform and everything. I don't think she would have jeopardized that easily. So maybe she is really sick. And because her door is right next to Sheree's door, we can see Sheree trying to see what's going on and everything. Kenya is gone. So at this point, I feel like production knows that the footage they were supposed to get from Kenya, they're not gonna get. So they had Sheree call all the ladies to tell them to come to her room because, yeah, they need footage. So instead of telling them via phone that Kenya is not feeling good and had to go to the hospital, they're making a scene out of it. So all the ladies comes into Sheree's room and she's telling them, and she has them all there, she tells them, and they're all shocked. And then this happens here.
Her is so sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm so sorry.
Oh my God. I am so sorry. I did not know.
I'm like, girl, Monyetta, like, what? Why are you crying, girl? It can't be that bad. Like, why are you crying talking about last month? Girl, did y'all believe Monyetta's tears? Child, that was so out of the sudden. Or did production just cut it? Like, what was that? Yeah, so all the ladies are worried. Marlo talking about she wants to pray for her. And it's so funny because before that, we saw Marlo talking to a therapist, and I was like, yeah, Marlo was trying to already have an apology tour going on, talking about Monyetta took her there. Monyetta didn't take you nowhere, Marlo. You're just that bad. You just have lack of self-control. She didn't do that much for you to almost have a violent moment on her. I saw what Marlo was doing. I
see you, Marlo.
Marlo is like, let's pray for Kenya. Monyetta, I know what happened yesterday, but let's make up. You see how she's being quick to make up? She knows she did wrong yesterday, and she's afraid of a poor position. Marlo knows she acted wrong. And I think that the problem with Marlo is that she cannot really be herself on the show because she's rough. Marlo is a rough woman that does all type of stuff. That is the reason why she doesn't do good on Real Housewives of Atlanta, because she's not being herself. If she has to be herself, she would be too rough for the show, and she knows that. Let me know what you think on the comment. So yeah, so they make up and everything, and then we see them all leaving. Before they leave, they're all sitting down, and they have no scene. But yeah, because yeah, they did nothing in Alabama, really. They really didn't do much. That trip was by far one of the worst trips that they ever had. A lot of people didn't come. Drew and Kandi didn't come. Sanya left. Kenya left. So it's a lot. So when all the ladies are leaving, Marlo is telling Monyetta, so show us how the choreography was supposed to be. And Monyetta is showing them. And she's like,
Be cute.
I didn't see much, but Monyetta does look good and she seems to dance well. I don't know. We don't really see that, but Marlo says that she is a great dancer. Courtney said that apparently Kenya already checked out, but she's still at the hospital. I don't know. It seems like maybe Kenya is going to go directly from the hospital straight back to Atlanta. I don't know what her plan is, but yeah, this trip was definitely by far the worst Real Housewives of Atlanta trip I've ever seen. and not much really happened. Next, we have Kandi and Todd. They're catching up. They have a little bit of time to work together. Kandi is busy, but she made some time to work with Todd. So they talk. Todd comes in and has a surprise for her, and it's basically what it thinks is going to be the movie of what they're producing, and it's about a couple giving each other a pass to do things with other people. And I was like, okay. They talk about it. Kandi has to leave for the airport because she's gonna go and get honored, but they also talk about the situation with her mom. She said that she's tired of her mom always insulting Todd, always, putting him down. This is so old and it's time for her to talk to him. Todd is pretty quiet about it, but we can see that he's disappointed and tired. So yeah, I'm happy that Kandi is planning on talking to her mom very seriously. Then we have Courtney and Sanya catching up and everything. Courtney tells her everything that happened when Sanya left, and I'm like, Courtney is really working overtime, isn't she? Then we have Sheree visiting Kenya. Kenya is feeling a little bit better, but she's still under the weather. She explained to her what they said at the hospital, and they catch up. Sheree tells her about her fibroid. She tells her that the doctor want her to have surgery to get the fibroid, to remove the fibroid. And she's like, most people she knows that have this type of surgery, they go back again, and she wants to go the natural way. She knows people that took certain medication, like natural remedies, and it helped them shrink the fibroid. So this is what she wants to do, especially that she doesn't want to stop having sex for 6 weeks. And I mean, I like the fact that Sheree wants to try something natural first. I really believe in medicinal remedies, like not always trying to go toward getting medication and stuff like that. Like for example, me, I remember I had my period very early on and they were always very painful. And I remember when we went to the doctor, they wanted to put me on the pill, but the pill really doesn't stop the effect of what I had. And my mom was like, no. So I had to take pain pills for years until I discovered raspberry leaf tea. And honestly, when I started drinking the amount of raspberry leaf tea, my period became painless. For years, I was dependent on pain medicine. And I would say it's been 3 years now that I don't use pain medicine. I just drink raspberry leaf tea regularly. It's part of my diet, and I don't have painful period anymore. So I love that Sheree wants to go for natural remedy first, and then if it doesn't work, she can readjust and see what she's gonna go for. So I definitely support her. Then we see Kenya, beautiful little girl coming in, and she's showing her a move that she learned at karate. That little girl is she's so beautiful like her mom. Next we have Kandi and her mom, and Miss Joyce is something. All I can say based on their discussion, Miss Joyce feels like she was just being honest. Everything she's talking about, her son-in-law is real. She is sending multiple shades way here.
I'm not gonna lie, they need to lighten up sometime.
And I'm so proud of Kandi telling her, you gotta stop. She was not smiling when she said it. She was very, very serious. She said, you gotta stop. We've been together almost we've been married 9 years. We've been together longer. We have 2 children together. One day, our children are going to see this. You do not want your grandchildren to not love you because they know you don't like their dad. And what she said is so, so, so real. She's not willing to hear. She's not willing to hear, like her daughter is literally telling her, you and I are not talking as much because you have bad vibe. That's why when you come, the vibes are negative. And she's like, yeah, that's why I don't come. And I'm like, no, you need, like a mom, I think is jealous, honestly. When a mom even had the nerve to say that Todd is not teaching certain things to her son, I'm like, do you know how it feels to have a man do that? Because as far as we know, you're a single mom raising Kandi. You were not married. You know what I mean? So your daughter is doing things that you were never able to do. And instead of supporting her, you just show how bitter you are. Kandi's mom is bitter. It's extremely sad to see, and it's detrimental to her own daughter. You know what I mean? Like, she doesn't even realize that she's hurting her daughter, she's hurting her grandchildren. She don't care. I love the fact that she was willing to go to therapy. Do you think that it's going to do something for her? No. But I do think that if Kandi is being very serious with her about her stopping to insult Todd, she's going to listen. I think that Kandi is the key there. And I think that Kandi, honestly, for what we saw, she did the right thing, you know. She didn't play with her mom. She's still a mom, so you're going to give her respect and they're on the camera. I think Kandi is doing the right thing, and I'm very proud of Kandi for even, you know, realizing it and really taking charge and saying, you know, I'm the one that have to, like, help them fix that because I'm in the middle. But honestly, I would say it is imperative that a mom at least stop talking about him such negatively. If you don't like him, you don't like him. You cannot force love, but at least don't say all those things in front of the TV. So kudos to Kandi. That's all I gotta say, and good luck because you're gonna need it because your mom is alive. Next, we have Kenya, who is now feeling better, and she organized Hy-Vee stuff like with Sheree and Drew because she wants them to be able to talk because Sheree is not happy with Drew. Drew went on a podcast and tell them that she was not able to get anything from Sheree. So Sheree feels like Drew has been shady and not talking well about her brand. And I'm like, yeah, I understand, but girl, why didn't you let them go with the stuff, right? And it was a shade, let's be honest. Drew was sending shade toward Sheree. So when Drew came, she said hi to Kenya. She wanted to hug Sheree, but Sheree wasn't really for it. So they just gave each other a high five. And then Sheree was straightforward and told her why she has a beef with her. And Drew was like, listen, this happened before. I actually called Drew to apologize and everything. So Sheree's like, yeah, I understand, but I still don't trust her. And I'm like, I understand that. You don't gotta trust her, you know. So they have their discussion. It wasn't really like a big, you know, thing or anything. I feel like Drew was sending shade towards Sheree, and Sheree was like, I'm not gonna let you shade me like that. And I understand. Then they basically talk about what's going to happen because Courtney is organizing an event, and from there, I like the way they did the transition on what is going to happen next week, and we see that next week is going to be pretty explosive. This episode was okay, but I feel like there's something that's wrong. Something is wrong there. I feel like we don't really have a story on Kenya. Kenya is working overtime to try to bring the drama between the other ladies, but when it's a time to shine and show her about us, so far we haven't been able to see much. A trip to Alabama was a flop. Marlo is acting a damn fool. Monyetta talk more than usual, but honestly, she's not that interesting to me. Drew, so far, has been sick. We haven't seen much. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to say kudos to Courtney because I feel like she's the one that's been working overtime. And maybe she's actually interesting. So, yeah, let me all know what you think about this episode. For those of you that are new, hey, welcome. And I invite you to, and for those of you that have been here with me, supporting me, thank you so much. I'm so thankful. And I will see you all next week.